Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Reagan Weiss along with
Joey Deeb, co-founders
of The Hub.
I'd just like to start off by prefacing this by saying it's not just us. It's all of our core members of this group that made this. We have a lot of people that have worked hard, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. Can't mention all of them because there's so many, but we love you all.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough for every single one of you, and you know who you are, to be involved with this. And a lot of people are asking, why? Why The Hub? Let me tell you why The Hub. The Hub is a place that not just business owners are going to collaborate. It's where our community members are going to collaborate, where ideas are bounced off of one another. We just want to help people. We want to be there. We want to unify not just our businesses, but we want to unify our community. We don't want to hear about the negativity. We don't want to hear. There are so many other places out there that you could hear about the negativity in our community, and this will not be the place.
Our group can be a basis for so many different resources for so many different trades and industries. It's not just isolated to one specific trade or construction or cleaning or any of that. Everybody can come to the Hub to get actual references from real people using these business and utilizing them to see what kind of experiences they've had.
Now, the key word is collaboration, right? And you see that a lot lately, like collaboration. Well, it really is about collaboration. If I didn't know to collaborate with my friends behind the camera, Jordan Long, if I didn't know how to collaborate with all these other people, all these individuals involved, you wouldn't know about us because of those people. Strength are in numbers. So just like Joey said, it's every industry. We want to hear from how your experiences were with your restaurants. We want to hear your cleaning people, your contractors, your roofing companies. I mean, every industry out there, your masseuses, your salon. We want to hear real experiences from real people. And one more thing, very, very important, we're not going to allow networking. When we say networking, I just want to be very specific on this. And people say, oh, well, you're kind of pushing people away. No, we're not, because there are specific network groups that post and tag people without ever utilizing their business. And we don't want that. We want real experiences.
You're not forced to recommend somebody simply because you're in the same group.
Right.
And that's what we want. And it's not just about business either.
Right.
It's about charity and giving. We want a local hub for events to help people.
We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. Look for Hub ads on the radio. Look for the Hub bus on the Pasco County Public Transportation System. Look in Facebook and please share this, and let's grow this positive thinking, forward momentum community. We love you, Tampa Bay.
Join the Hub and grow with us.
See you soon.
BetUS.com. If you guys are betting on the games, whether it's NFL, NCAA, of course, you're not going to do that now. Maybe basketball, not football, but of course, the NHL, NBA, go to BetUS.com. You get a 125% sign-up bonus. And also, if you use this code right here, the promo code of TSW22, which, by the way, stands for the sports web, TSW22, or call that number 1-800-69-BET-US. Again, 1-800-69-BET-US, and put in that promo code TSW22, and I would really appreciate that.
I've had 27 beers spilled on me. Make that 28.
I've only got one place to go before another game.
BetUS.com.
Sign up at BetUS.com and get the best bonuses in the industry.
Say Texas.
Merry Christmas. Say, I love football. Say this. Say Tampa.
Tampa.
Bay.
Tampa.
Bay.
A.
Tampa. Tampa. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Say Tampa.
Tampa.
Bay. Bay. Oh my God, she's so smart and she's so precious. I love her to death.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here live on I Love St. Pete and the Hub, and of course, Amped Up Sports. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. And how do we start off this show on a Monday evening? Bring the passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show, we'll have the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions, and of course, Amped Up Sports, as we talk about the Ali Marpett situation, the retirement situation, which is still shocking a lot of Bucs fans out there. We'll talk about the ramifications. And then at 9:30, we will have the Tampa Bay Inferno's owner on of the Women's Football Alliance, Miss Jen Moody, talking about her league and talking about the things that are going on with her team this year. In fact, they're not the Bucs are not the only winning football team in this town that are winning. The Inferno are doing the same thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this guy's intro on. Here we go. Former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports, as we've been covering USF women's basketball, USF men's basketball. The future is bright. My good buddy, Mr. Leo Haggerty, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. How you doing on this Monday night?
It's always a pleasure to be on with the hardest working sports personality in the Tampa Bay area.
Hey, man, I really appreciate that.
No, Peter, I'm talking about myself. I'm sorry. No, nobody works harder than Peter Blake. Peter Blake.
Well, listen, I learned from one of the best right here. That's Leo Haggerty on with this on the Evolution. And let's get to it. How surprised were you yesterday that Ali Marpett announced his retirement on his Instagram? I thought it was health complications, but his father, according to Rick Stroud, comes out, there's no health concerns. So how surprised were you by it? And what do you make of this situation in general?
Peter, let's make everybody aware of what actually happens during a professional football game. The offensive and defensive linemen are the most susceptible. There's a semi-SAT word.
Very nice.
Right out of the gate. To head concussions because they're hitting helmet to helmet almost every play. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use my example as an example, my brother Tom, who played 4 years of high school football, 4 years of college football as an offensive tackle. He tells me his junior year in college, he doesn't remember. He got hit so many times and had his bell rung so many times. He doesn't remember anything about his junior year. Mm-hmm. I think Ali Marpett probably has saved every nickel and dime that he's made, invested it well, and he's looking around and going, I don't need this. I played 7 years. I'm 28. What else do I need to do? What else do I need to prove? I've got a Super Bowl ring. I made it to the Pro Bowl. End of story. And Peter, you're seeing a lot of these guys go out. Borland went out in San Francisco after 1 year. Luke Kuechly went out early. Barry Sanders went out early. And again, Megatron went out early. Just it takes such a toll on your body. And I'm going to tell a real quick story, Peter, about Nick Hardwick. He's the center. He was a center in San Diego. He snapped the ball to Phillip Rivers his entire time out there. Well, Nick would get what they call stingers. And stingers is when you just get no feeling in your arm or anything like that after you've been hit. Well, folks, you got to picture this in your mind. So everybody close your eyes and listen now. Close your eyes and imagine a center having someone jump in the A gap to his right. He's a right-handed center, so he's got to snap the ball, and this guy's coming into A gap. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have an arm to get out there. He has to actually just throw his head and shoulders across to try and get in the way, as I'm doing now. Boom, you got to try. Well, guess what? He got hit one too many times and got that stinger, and the doctor told him after the last one, which was probably over a dozen, He said, look, you may end up with no feeling in your arm. He retired the next day. Again, it's something you got to keep in mind. This game is not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
No, you're exactly right. It's not. And, talking about a guy who played in the league for a little while, that was Sterling Sharp. He was a Buccaneer killer. And I was correcting somebody about this. He played his last game, even though he scored 3 touchdowns, he was getting a stinger and he was out of the league. Basically, he retired after that. He sustained a neck injury, but, it's serious business. How much of a loss is Marpett to that Bucs offensive line?
Oh, big loss.
Okay.
A big loss, because now you've got free agency all over that offensive line. And again, Peter, if there's one thing I have preached to you, it's that you got to take care of from the ball out. So now all of a sudden you're looking at center, 2 guards that are free agents. And will the Buccaneers have money after they get done signing Chris Godwin? Even if they franchise him, what are they going to do? They may lose one simply because they can't afford him.
Well, I think it kind of puts an emphasis because, look, you got Jensen, who's a free agent. You've got Alex Kappa, and you also got Aaron Stinney, who did a good job filling in for Kappa. So if you're the Bucs general manager at this point, does your main focus, depending on what quarterback you're going to get? Because I'm not sure. I don't buy the whole Blaine Gabbert thing. I don't buy it. I don't think they're going to go with Kyle Trask. I think they're going to go for a quarterback. How much compensation they're going to have to give up, at this point remains to be seen. But to me, the way you win in the National Football League is between the lines. It's the defensive line and the offensive line. So do you think that shifting your focus to that line, signing a Jensen, signing a Kappa, and a Stinney will make that line better? Of course, without Marpett, it's going to be maybe not as good, but and then there's a possibility that possibly you could lose a player like a Carlton Davis. Do you see that happening?
Oh, Peter, let's look at worst case scenario. Say they lose all of them. Say Godwin gets a crazy deal.
Right.
Carlton Davis and the 3 linemen.
Sure.
Where are you now? You're behind the 8 ball. So they're going to have to overspend for somebody. I just don't know who that somebody's going to be. That's for sure. So we have no idea how that's going to play out. Jason Light's the only one that knows. He's probably sat down with Bruce Arians and says, hey, how about you give me an idea of what you're looking for in terms of what kind of player you want first. Who do we have to sign first? Give me an order of precedent for you, and then I'll see what I can do.
All right. So with that being said, today it was announced that the Bucs are going to play a game in Munich, Germany. This, according to Joe Glazer, or his comments about it. We look forward to participating in the first regular season NFL game in Munich, Germany later this fall as a part of the International Series. This historic game will play a crucial role in the NFL's efforts to grow its international footprint while allowing us to directly engage in NFL fans in Germany. What do you think about this? Because some fans are upset about it. It could be a home game, which means one less game at Raymond James Stadium. What do you make of this situation and what the NFL is doing, especially Germany?
Terrible idea right now, Peter.
Really?
Terrible idea.
Okay.
You need to consolidate, not expand. There's still people that won't go to an NFL game because of what's happened in the past. You need to get them back. That's the big thing. You don't need to be trained to Germany. And my God, at least they're going to Germany. If they told me Mexico City, there's not a snowball's chance in you know where, I'm going to Mexico City.
Sure.
It's just you got to look at this and say, okay, what's going on? Why do we need to do that? Peter, here's the question that has to be asked and answered quickly. If it's a home game for the Bucs, do season ticket holders get reimbursed? Do they have to go to Germany or lose that money? Or are they going to kick it over till the following year? But they have to make a decision on that and tell people immediately what's going on there.
With that being said, and we're on with Leo Haggerty, the legend himself, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions and, of course, Amped Up Sports. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. We talk about Marpett and these impending free agents. You're not sure about Tom Brady yet. We'll get back to that in a moment because Greg Allman had some news on the cap situation involving the Bucs. But let's say you do have that mass exodus, Leo word, of players. Do you shift focus at that point? Could you see more players retiring like a Gronkowski? Could you see Bruce Arians moving on at that point? Because he's 70 years old? Does he really, 69 to be 70 in October, does he really want to go through a rebuilding effort with a team that just 2 years ago was a Super Bowl champion?
I think this is Bruce Arians' last roundup.
Okay.
He's going to finish at Tampa Bay and that's it. And again, it's just something that you look at and you're trying to look at it from a person who's a 70-year-old man who just hobbled through the season with a torn Achilles, which is a terrible injury. And now you're asking him to try to go and put the magic together again somewhere else. I don't think so, because I don't know how many of the coaches would go with him. To be perfectly honest, I think that they would give the job to either Leftwich or Bowles, and they would keep the other guy, and a lot of coaches would still stay here. So I think you're not going to see BA move anywhere far away from $1.
See, and that's why I don't buy a Kyle Trask, because everybody says, well, he may not be ready. But honestly, if you're BA, you have confidence in him. But if he's not ready and he hasn't taken a snap in the National Football League, are you willing to go through those growing pains? Everybody wants to talk about Blaine Gabbert, and BA talked about it. But are you buying a Blaine Gabbert, or do you think they go and trade for a quarterback, put in that compensation, a Russell Wilson? To me, and we'll go to this in a moment with Aaron Rodgers, $50 million, that's ridiculous in itself for him to ask for that. And we got a former player in his comments on that situation, but can you see them going in with multiple first-round picks to go out and get a quarterback? Because Gabbert, Trask, these are not necessarily the options that you think are going to win a lot of games, even though the division is down.
Peter, what you got to look at, too, is if they decide to go with Gabbert or Trask, that frees up a lot of money to bring back players.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think you can sell this to guys. Gabbert, Trask, I don't think so.
Right.
And then, because here's what happens. Other teams just go in and go, do you really want to stay there with rookie quarterback? And I'll have two words to say, Jordan Love. Look how badly he looked when he played.
Correct.
The guy at San Francisco, he's not ready either. They're talking about trading Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, guess what? They don't have a backup there either. He played one game his senior year in college, came out, and he is definitely not ready. So you got two teams in San Francisco and Green Bay that they're pretty well set at quarterback with Garoppolo and Rodgers. The Bucs got to figure out where they're going with this.
Would you take Jimmy Garoppolo? Do you think he fits this system?
Yeah, he would. He would fit. He would fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a Carson Wentz? Because I talk to fans on Facebook, and they're very down on him. But you look at his touchdown to interception ratio, 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And I get it the last couple of games for the Colts. And wow, we had a malfunction there from Leo. So we'll go full screen.
There we go. There we go.
We got to get you a tripod or something. That's the next thing we got to work on, my friend.
Be nice, Peter.
Last couple of games, he didn't play that well. So Carson Wentz, I mean, remember, this is the second overall pick of the draft just a couple years ago. The second year he was in the MVP running. I get it. He's got some injury problems, but Carson Wentz, does that move the needle to draw a free agent like a Chris Godwin?
It gives them someone who they can look at and say, okay, he's been there.
Right.
He's been to a playoff game. He got a team to the playoffs.
Sure.
And may have won the Super Bowl with him if he didn't have his knee taken out into 4 different places. So, yeah. Are they Tom Brady? No. Are they serviceable? No. They're better than serviceable. But again, where do they want to go? Where, as dumb as this sounds, Peter, it may throw the old Bucks quarterback into this conversation in a month or two, when Jameis Winston may be still out there and the Bucks still haven't made a move. The first thing they got to find out is Brady going to stay retired.
Right.
That's the first thing. Once they find that out, now you shift gears and go to plan B and try to figure it out.
And until he's on the retirement list at this point, the door is open. Rick Stroud went on the Rich Eisen show. He was talking about Winston, and he didn't feel like, Winston and BA would work well together. But at the end of the day, and it goes back to what my co-host said, Harry, the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire, he would be the perfect option because he does know the offense. He's not going to have that learning curve. Plus, you look at his touchdown to interception ratio last year of 14-3. You just kind of wonder, can he do enough not to turn over the ball? Would BA embrace him again, or are you going to go with the Gabbard or Trask or somebody else? Because you're exactly right. Jameis is coming off an injury. He's not going to cost a lot of money. Plus, he knows the offense. It seems to make sense to me, and I know there's fans out there laughing and scoffing about it, but it makes sense.
And not SENCE, CENTS.
Correct.
He is. I'm not going to say he comes on the cheap, but he's not going to cost as much as a Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy Garoppolo. So, yeah, this is something the Buccaneers would be really kind of, you got to explore every option.
Correct.
And you can't take anything off the table until it comes off the table.
Correct.
Don't push it off yourself. So, again, 2 years ago, we were sitting here going, Tom Brady to Tampa? Come on. That ain't happening.
I mean, that's what I keep on telling people. They keep on saying, well, no, there's no way that Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers, $50 million a year. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I wouldn't pay for a 38-year-old quarterback. I get it. He's top of his game. But what, 2 years at $25 million, 50. Come on, man. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with an Aaron Rodgers and then giving up picks at the same time. I would go for a Russell Wilson. I would go for a Jimmy Garoppolo or Carson Wentz or somebody like that out there. Even a Derek Carr has been talked about. I mean, Derek Carr in a Buccaneer uniform seems like an upgrade over what you have right now. And don't get me wrong. I've never seen Trask play only at Florida. He hasn't taken an NFL snap. I would embrace this. And I think they may change course if they do lose free agents. But if they're in it to win it, like we think this Buccaneer organization is going to do, then I think they're going to make moves outside of this organization. Along with Leo Haggerty here. Now, according to Greg Allman, good news, the Bucs in their salary cap regarding Tom Brady's retirement, instead of $32 million in dead cap, as they could have had, the Bucs will only have $17 million total, $8 million this year, $9 million in 2023. His retirement will officially go through after June 1st. So, once again, you're getting it. There's a break here. There's some good news to Bucs fans, even though this has been a tumultuous offseason for Bucs fans.
It's good news for the cap. It's bad news if Brady actually retires.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. But you know what, Peter? When you look at the quarterback situation,
sure.
here's the bigger problem. It's not Tampa Bay who's the only team looking for a quarterback. Pittsburgh's in the game too.
Sure.
And they could just play, Russian roulette with this and say, okay.
That situation out of all these teams, and people talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I get it. There's a lot of quarterback needy teams. Honestly, in your opinion, watching all these teams, the best situation for a quarterback right now is what? The Bucs with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin back?
If Chris Godwin comes back healthy, yes.
Okay.
And again, I think if it's a proven veteran who can win, Gronk may come again for another year.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's you got to come back with somebody. But I just don't know if Trask is the thing. And again, then everybody who's talking to your free agents say, see, the Bucs, they're not in it. They're rebuilding. You want to be part of the rebuild? And that's what they can't show their hand right now. They're in a Texas Hold'em game right now with a lot of people.
They really are.
Yeah.
All right, let's go out to the latest rumor from Pro Football Talk. What do you make of this? The Dolphins were going to pursue not only Sean Payton, and this was this year, they're going to pursue Sean Payton. But, again, we talked about this off air. You've got to give them compensation in order to do this. What they claim is they did it after he resigned. I don't believe that because this organization is a dumpster fire. And then also they were going to pursue Brady as a minority owner. I mean, first and foremost, if you're Sean Payton, I don't care how much you're getting paid. Are you trying to take on this organization with all the internal struggles they've had, quarterback rumors, all this other stuff, and now their owner trying to pay their former coach off to lose games? And if you're Brady, do you want to get involved in this situation? I get it. You have an opportunity to have a stake in an NFL franchise, but the Dolphins, come on, you can do better than that, right?
Peter, I believe that if this scenario actually happened, and I'm putting this up as soon as we're done tonight on Amped Up Sports. On Mondays, I'm calling my column, Does Anyone Have a Clue? Well, obviously, no one in Miami has a clue.
Nobody.
Because, one, even though Sean Payton is retired, it's still going to cost you compensation if he comes back to coach while he's still under contract. Also, Peter, if they bring Brady on board, even as an owner, I think there's still compensation that needs to come back down the pike because he's still under contract. So, again, we're talking about some real legalese here.
2 first-round picks? Is Brady worth 2 first-round picks, even if he's not a player for the Miami Dolphins?
At least.
Okay.
At least. Because think of Tom Brady is going to put fannies in the seats, bottom line. And that's what you're looking for. But, Peter, when you look at what's happening in Miami, I can't believe that someone in the higher echelon of the Miami Dolphins didn't get this before it even got out and say, hey, this doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of going anywhere. Why do we want to put ourselves up for ridicule right now, especially with the Flores situation still hot on the press?
All right. The Creamsicles are coming back, but not this year in 2023. First and foremost, a lot of fans asking out there, why is it taking so long? The NFL had only a 1 helmet rule. I mean, what do you think about the Bucs bringing back the Creamsicle? Not this year, ladies and gentlemen, but 2023. Sentimental memories?
I'm from Missouri, Peter. You got to show me before I believe it. And again, you can talk all you want about 2023, but hey, they may bring it out to play over in Germany. Who knows?
Right.
It's something I don't worry about.
Right.
Because it's a year down the road, and I have no control over it. Why should I worry about it? Would I like to see those uniforms? Yeah. Just to remind you of what was happening in the past with the Buccaneers.
And the reason why they're saying it's going to be 2023, I think there's delivery issues, something along the line. So Bucs fans have to wait one more year for those throwbacks. All right.
Peter, especially if they're coming out of China, right?
Well,
they may not be able to get them.
I mean, and you're exactly right about that. Now, biggest need right now with the Ali Marpett hole, would it be guard, or do you think they go in-house? At 27 right now, do you see the Bucs drafting an offensive lineman? Or what do you see them drafting? What's their biggest need, in your opinion, with the combine this week?
Peter, like I preached to you, week after week after week, you go from the ball out.
Yeah.
You got to say, do you have a center? Do you have a guard?
Yeah.
Do you have a nose tackle? That's the problem is you got all those guys tied up in free agency. You got Sue on the defensive line. You've got, Jensen. You got Stinnett. You got Kappa. Marpett's retired. I believe they would take an offensive lineman. Because you're way down the road. You're down 27-28 down there.
Right.
So, again, they got a really high-quality player in Joe Tryon last year. But that was because Joe Tryon didn't play it down.
Sure.
So everybody forgot about him but the Buccaneers. So I think they go offensive line unless they can't sign Chris Godwin. If they can't sign Chris Godwin, they're going to have to go wide receiver.
Yeah, agree. All right, buddy, we're going to get you out of here. We got Jen Moody of the Tampa Bay Inferno, owner, coming on telling us about her league or her team, not the league itself. She doesn't own it, but
hey, Peter, they had a running back, number 24, named Johnson.
Okay.
Could have played with the men.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Ask her about that. I think her name was Johnson, but number 24, she'll know who you're talking about.
Well, they also have a quarterback, and we're going to get into this, that's actually 55 years old. So she's rivaling Tom Brady. She's actually older than Tom Brady and still playing at a high level. With that being said, go ahead and promote yourself here, Mr. Leo Haggerty, on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Yeah, go to Amped Up Sports. We're there every night. And Mr. Peter Blake's going to start writing a column come Thursday.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
brace yourselves.
Yeah, no. Now, understand, he can do it written or he can do it verbal. So don't be surprised if Peter Blake's column is a video. I'm looking forward to it. Peter, enjoyed it as usual. I will see you Wednesday night out at USF for the last women's game.
Absolutely. And then we'll be out at USF again for the men's game. And then we'll probably try to catch up once again here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right.
Always a pleasure, my friend. You stay safe.
All right. Appreciate you, buddy. Leo Haggerty, the legend himself, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions. It's Sports Mag. Let's get out to the comments. Chris Cole says, hey, Peter and Leo, what's going on? Roger Shue says, what's up, webheads? Support our host. Super chats are open. Like and share. Absolutely. Let's go out to Roger again. Godwin and Jensen to the Bears. You wish. Chris Cole says, is anyone having Facebook issues? I had the same issues you had. Roger Shue says, creamsicle days are back, baby. Uniforms and record, and this is what you get.
Shut up!
Anita says, fire those cannons, as I shall. Let's go on to Christopher Cole. Finally, it's back on. Christopher Cole says car equals Super Bowl. I like it. Roger Shue says Bucks are going to be horrible. Go Bandits. Good luck, Pete. Roger says again, proud of you, little bro. Appreciate you, but I'm not your little bro, even though you are older than me. I think I'm, I don't know. Tell that troll, Roger, to stop deleting my comments in my Troy account. How are you going to block one of your main followers? Oh, it's You Can Ben Israel. Oh, there you go. All right. So without further ado, we're going to get the owner of the Tampa Bay Inferno on of the Women's Football Alliance. It's amazing. This is cool stuff here. Miss Jen Moody, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thanks for having us on tonight.
Just move over just a little bit there. Just move over to your left just a tad, so everybody could see you. And no, other way, to the right. I'm sorry. There you go. There you go. So tell us about this Women's Football Alliance League and also your team, the Tampa Bay Inferno.
Absolutely. So the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance, is one of the largest and fastest growing leagues in the world, believe it or not. The league has been around this will be the 13th season. And we're just a proud, team in the WFA and right here in the Tampa Bay area, proud to support our wonderful city.
Now, look, this is a winning football team, right? I mean, it goes back to what we always talk about here in the Bay Area, Tampa Bay. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. You guys aren't any slouches either. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. So we're actually entering our 11th season, and we have an 84% win-to-loss record. Certainly over the years, we've had 5 division championships, 2 national conference championships, 2 appearances at the national championship stage. Fell a little bit short there, but we're proud to represent our city.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. You also used to play in the league. Talk about that a little bit out of Pittsburgh. So you definitely had some fire and some motivation. Talk about your career as a player for Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. Growing up in the Steel City, you're born and raised with football, that's for sure. And, football has always been a part of my life as a young child. And Growing up in a city like Pittsburgh, has been a blessing to me, certainly as an athlete, but just as a person as well. For me, this is 20 years being a part of women's tackle football. So I started my career in 2002 and as a player, wide receiver, and did some special teams such as punt return, kick return, and just found a way to be able to give back. It's for us in women's tackle football, there's a long way to go in terms of our growth and the trajectory, but the future is bright. And I feel it's my job and duty to be able to give back.
Absolutely. And we're on with the owner of the Tampa Bay Inferno, Jen Moody, talking about her playing days and also her team in the Tampa Bay area. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Besides the obvious thing of being an owner and a player, what's the biggest difference? And does that playing career kind of hold over, if you will, or carry over as being an owner? Does it give you an advantage over everybody else, in your opinion?
No, I think the advantage is you have a different passion. Certainly as an athlete, you never give up the mentality and mindset of an athlete. I think there is certainly an advantage, and, there are other owners across our league and who have been former players as well, many, whether they are owners or come back as coaches. So I think once you have that passion, there's definitely an advantage there because you want to succeed, the league to succeed, the women to succeed, and you never give up that dream of being on the field.
Absolutely. And, it's awesome to read about this and do more research. I had no idea. This is a real deal. This is a women's football league. There's not lingerie, not knocking that. This is real tackle football. So, kind of convince some of the football fans, the hardcore football fans, why they should watch this league. Because, by the way, you just signed a deal with ESPN, right?
That's correct. The WFA did sign a deal. So our national championship game, we actually also entered a deal with Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So it's a 5-year deal. So we'll be entering year 2. So our national championship weekend is played right there in Canton, Ohio. So, what greater place to play a national championship weekend, but in Canton, Ohio at the Hall of Fame Stadium. And the Sunday's game, the Pro Division, which is Division 1, the highest division in the league, will be broadcasted live on ESPN2.
All right, great stuff. Awesome. Just impressive. Also, you have games on Roku and DirecTV. So, overall, you've had expansion this year for this league. It's going to get better from here, right? Bigger and better?
Agree. It will get bigger and better. And, again, from the national level, the more support that we get there, as well as at our local level here in Tampa Bay, the more people that find out about it, the team is going to be set up for success. The women, for those of you who are wondering, what kind of football is this? This is real football, just as you mentioned, Peter. It's 11 on 11. These women are incredible athletes. They're career women. They're moms. They're veterinarians. They're counselors. They're teachers. They're military. They're police officers who do this all right now for the love of the game. But the passion, the athleticism is there. And I guarantee if you come and check out a game, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that. Where do you play your games at? And when does it start? And who do you play the first game?
Sure. So season kicks off in April. We do have a bye the first week. So April 16th. Our home field is Sickles High School, right off of Gun Highway. And, we have 3 back-to-back home games. We kick off with Jacksonville, then face Boston, which is the 3-time defending national champions in our league. And then we face Miami here in Tampa.
This is awesome. This is awesome stuff. And, tickets are cheap. It's a great atmosphere. I watched some of the highlights on it. I wish I could play it here, Jen, but YouTube will kill me on the copyright. So we don't want to do that. Of course, we always have people on the sports web. They always have some type of connection with our Tampa Bay teams, not only being a Tampa Bay team, but having a connection to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was looking at this, and there is a connection to a certain coach for the Bucs. That would be Laurie Locust. Go ahead and talk about that. And how proud are you of her and the other women's coaches in the National Football League doing what they're doing?
Absolutely. Extremely proud. Laurie Locust, number one, just a number one, great athlete, but a great person. She's worked so hard to earn her spot in the National Football League, and just really proud to see her continue to succeed and grow. And also show other women that, there's an opportunity. And if you work hard, you can have that same opportunity. Just had an opportunity to spend some time with her Friday evening. We were both at the same community event in Sulphur Springs with the Tampa YMCA. And again, she's just, she's very genuine. She's hardworking. She's earned everything that she has received right now. And I can't wait to see her continue to grow within the league.
You've got to like the expansion or the opportunity, if you will, to have more women as coaches. And not only as you being an owner, you also see women as NFL owners. How impressed are you by that? And is there any thought, hey, saying, you know what, maybe I'll call Laurie Locust, maybe put in a good word to the Glazers to maybe get a minority stake to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Just saying.
Of course, the future is always bright for all of us, but I have to say that I'm really happy with, my role with the Tampa Bay Inferno and, helping to get that league to that next level as well. There's quite a few women who in the NFL who, matter of fact, I played against in our league a few years ago. So a lot of friends, seeing them have those opportunities, extremely proud. And, again, definitely a fan of Laurie.
Talk about the owners that you played. I want to hear this. Who did you play? And of course, you outdid them, right? I mean, you're from the still city of Pittsburgh. You are absolutely killed them, right?
Yes. Well, it's funny. Laura and I were just chatting on Friday evening at the community event. I think we both traced back that we did play against each other in one game. She played for Philly. I played for Pittsburgh long time ago. But Callie Bronson, who's in Cleveland right now, chief of staff to head coach, she played for the DC team. Certainly, we did beat them. We beat Philly as well. So Pittsburgh has its history, and those teams had some strong victories as well too. DC had quite a few national championships. So
I assume that you're a Steeler fan. Biggest inspiration to play football. Who was your favorite player growing up, and why?
Hands down, Franco Harris.
Okay.
Growing up in that era and watching him play as well as just what he has done for the community and for not only that, but for women's tackle football. Neat story is, of course, he was my idol growing up. He was the one I emulated in the backyard with the football running and, pretending I was scoring touchdowns. But I think one of my greatest victories or win is I helped create a foundation in Pittsburgh when I was there playing. And it was a mentoring group for middle school girls. And Franco actually came on as part co-owner in Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Passion, the women's tackle team. And he came out to one of the programs, and I got to introduce him to the young group of girls that we were working with at the time. And, it was one of those aha moments where your childhood idol growing up was somebody that you were introducing to a program that you helped establish. It was a pretty neat time in my life.
Well, I'm surprised. You're a wide receiver. I get it. You had the inspiration of Franco Harris, but you also had, Lynn Swann, too, during that time? I mean, you were a fan of him, right?
Absolutely. Lynn Swann, Rocky Blyer, Mean Joe Green. I mean, that whole cast was pretty amazing. So, had a lot of, certainly receivers that I've emulated over the years, but Franco's got a special place in my heart.
All right. Now, you came to the Tampa Bay area. You got Tom Brady the last couple of years. Everybody has an opinion on it, Jen. Do you think Tom Brady is done? And take us behind the curtain a little bit here, Jen, and talk about how tough it is to walk away from that game. And when you walked away from it, did you have second thoughts? Do you feel like Tom Brady may be having some second thoughts also?
Absolutely. And I think regardless of gender or, professional, semi-professional, whatever it is, as an athlete, it's always hard to walk away from the sport. Certainly for me personally, it was a hard decision, but it was the right decision at the time. And, I found that other void to fill in terms of giving back to the sport just in another way. And that's what I share with some of the women as they go through, those moments where they have to retire or maybe give up, the team or playing on the field due to family or career. You just have to find other ways to channel it. And for Tom, just what an incredible career he has. I know that he'll make the right decision for himself and his family, but I think for him, it's never going to be an easy decision. But it'll be the right one for him and his family. And I know that he'll be able to channel his passion for the game and sport in other ways.
Now, and we're on with Jen Moody, the owner of the Tampa Bay Inferno, of course, of the Women's Football Alliance here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. You've got a quarterback still on this team that could rival Tom Brady, especially with the age. Now, I know women don't like to talk about their age, but this is pretty impressive. Talk about her a little bit, Kim Shaw.
Absolutely. Kim is been with us in Tampa Bay Inferno for, 11 years since our existence. But prior to that, this would be year 20 for her. She is returning this year, again, at age 56.
Oh,
yes, that is correct, 56. And just an amazing athlete, an amazing leader over the years. Of course, the style of play changes as you age, but your wisdom only continues to grow and excel. And for Kim Shaw, she's a student of the game. She knows the game so well. And we're just thrilled to have her a part this year and, excited to see what she's going to do on the field for us.
Now, my buddy Leo Haggerty, the legend himself, former coach, scout, and now media member, was talking about your running back in Johnson. How good is she? Is she still on the team also?
Is it maybe Thompson, Candy Thompson?
I think so, yes.
Yes, she is. Yeah, thrilled to have Candy back. Again, another great leader for us, been a part since the existence of the team. Leader on and off the field, works extremely hard. So it's just doesn't come easy to her. She's worked for every bit of success on the field that she's had.
Yeah, and see, I always say this with my show. God put me on earth to corrupt every woman to be a football fan. But right now, with this league, with what you guys are doing, it's absolutely impressive. I absolutely love it. This is the reason why I do a show in the first place. Just love it. I mean, my mother, big time football fan. It ran in the family. I don't know necessarily what happened. I guess it was social media, but mom is watching right now. She's a big time fan. So once again, go ahead. Yes, she is there. Sandra Nagel, thanks a lot for watching as always. Go ahead and promote the league again, promote your team, and tell everybody where they can go to watch this, because I'm definitely coming out. The Sports Web is mobile, so we're going to get out there. I also think I have a mutual friend there. Leo Haggerty said he knows the coach there, Johnny Green. Johnny Green is still there as the head coach, correct?
You know what, Johnny? He's not. He retired this past year.
Retired. Okay.
He did. After 7 years, we're just thrilled to have his leadership and passion and love for the team. He's still 100% with us in spirit and supports us wherever we need. But we knew that his career and his family needed a little bit more time, of him. So as much as we miss him on the field, we know he's always there with us. And, so we have a lot of new faces on the coaching staff. Excited to see how that will translate to the field. And this year is going to be something else for Tampa Bay Inferno.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I said, I'm going to come out there and watch it. It was tough to find you guys, but I'm glad. Kim Mahaffey,
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for connecting us. And once again, your home games are where and when do you guys start and who do you guys play? Because the Sports Web is going to definitely try to come out there and see you guys in action.
Wonderful. So Sickles High School, kickoff is 7 p.m. We kick off in the month of April. April 16th is our home opener against the Jacksonville Dixie Blues. Our website is tvinferno.com. And certainly, Peter, we're happy to send you guys some tickets and have you guys out to enjoy the game.
Definitely. Thank you very much for your time. And the owner of the Tampa Bay Inferno, Jen Moody, thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right?
Thanks, Peter.
There you go. Jen Moody, owner of the Tampa Bay Inferno. How about that, huh? Some things you just don't know unless you do some research. Awesome. So I'm definitely going to go out there and check that out. Let me read some of these comments and we'll get back to it. Phone lines are open. Let's go out to that. Let's put them up there really quick. Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much. And we're going to get her on again. She's always welcome here on the Sports Web. I told you. I love women that love sports. I do. That's not a lie. I love what's going on right now in the National Football League. I love it. If you can coach, you can coach. If you can play, you can play. No matter if you're a man or a woman, go for it. I love it. I'm open to it. You see more and more opportunities as they should be given. We give you the opportunity to call the phone line here. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Roger says, I'll block him too. No, don't have to block him. Don't block him. I didn't see you at work today. You must have called out sick. Because he's not there. That's why. All right. I read that comment watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web with Amped Up Sports. Let me fire those cannons. Let me give you the Byron Leftwich.
Baby.
All right. So again, that would be my mother. Thanks a lot. Go and friend her on Facebook. Once again, big time sports fan. She is going to be eventually my agent, I believe, the way she promotes me. She already knows Amped Up Sports. Sometimes I can't even remember all the platforms. She does. I love St. Pete, the hub, Amped Up Sports. And we got a busy week because we're going to do a show tomorrow night. And then Wednesday night, we'll be live for your post-game recap of USF women against Houston. And then Thursday night will be for USF men against Memphis, which will be a late post-game cap. The game starts at 9 o'clock. And then yours truly will be out at the Tampa Bay Lightning game versus the Detroit Red Wings on Friday. So stay tuned. Like and follow the Sports Web on YouTube. Like the hub. Like I Love St. Pete. And, of course, Amped Up Sports. Great interview. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think it's a great opportunity to go out there and see something you haven't seen before. I like to see it. I definitely like to see them in action because they're a winning football team. Shocker, right? To steal a line from my boss. Shocker. A winning team in Tampa Bay. That's what we've come to expect. Of course, you wouldn't know that after Ali Marpett retired yesterday. Goodness gracious, guys. You guys are just unbelievable. I mean, you would think that the rebuild has started. No Brady, no Ali, no confidence. No confidence in Jason Light, no confidence in BA, no confidence in the organization overall. None. I mean, they're going to make some moves. They have some tough decisions to make, but, you know, they're not going into this blind. They know what they're doing. Pete, I'll go with you. I'll see a women's game. Absolutely. I've seen the highlights. They mix it up. And just talking to her, being from Pittsburgh, I got a feeling she mixed it up. And she's an aggressive owner. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. But going back to it with the Bucks, how are you feeling about the Ali Marpett retirement? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Comments from Bruce Arians. I want to read these. I don't know if I did already, but we'll read them again. I can't say enough about what Ali has meant to our team over the 3 seasons since my arrival. He's been a consummate professional, has been a rock for us in the interior of our offensive line. We miss him on the field and in the locker room, but I'm happy that he gets to go out as a Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler. I mean, that's the thing. Yes, it's disappointing because you're going to miss one of the best guards in the National Football League on this team. But it makes sense, right? I mean, if he feels like he's going out on top, he has money saved, he's in a good situation. Is it surprising? Is it shocking? Yes. Would I expect this to happen more? Yes. Especially if you save your money. And especially if you did have concussion problems the last couple of years, which are scary. We've seen the effects of CTE. We've seen the long-term effects of CTE. Some of the doctors still don't know what, having collisions every game can amount to. You don't. So I salute him. And now the Bucs have their work cut out for them. Does it change their focus? I hear crickets tonight. I think everybody, maybe Facebook is down or something. I guess that was what was going on. Got to go out to Christopher Cole here. Bucs fans need to relax. Good luck with that. Yeah.
How about them Bucks, baby?
It's a good comment. But, you know, and I do this on purpose. You know, go on Facebook, look and see. Put out No, I don't want Carson Wentz. I don't want him. No. What do you mean, Carson Wentz?
How about new?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Jimmy Garoppolo.
How about new?
You know, Aaron Rodgers. No, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. $50 million. I can understand
How
that.
about new?
I mean, that is what Bucs fans are saying right now. You have a sect of them saying, if you will, give Kyle Trask a chance. I don't see it happening. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's possibility, I guess, if you strike out on your quarterback options. But we remember the comments from Jason Light, right? He's going to explore every avenue at that juncture. He's going to try to figure this out. So Bucs fans, put on your seatbelt. See what happens. Instead of saying, you know what, the sky is falling. This team is done. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Jason Light. He had this to say about Marpett's retirement. I want to thank Ali for all that he has done as a valued member of the Buccaneer organization over the past 7 seasons. He has played a key role in our success both on and off the field. We will certainly miss his leadership and professionalism. It's been one of the greatest professional thrills to see his rapid ascension from a small college standout into one of the NFL's best all-around offensive linemen. As the highest Division III player ever drafted, Division III. Division III. Put that in context. A second-round pick, right? At a Division III and what he has accomplished. Amazing. And again, the Bucs are going to miss him. Ali's always seemed destined for greatness on the NFL level, and we simply could not have attained the success of the past 2 seasons without him. Off the field, as a founding member of our Social Justice Player Advisory Board, Ali provided the vision and passion that was crucial to that program's launch and ongoing work. We wish him the best and are confident he will enjoy similar success off the football field in whatever the future holds. So there you go. And we went live yesterday. We were surprised by it. I think a lot of people were surprised by it. A 28-year-old guard for that offensive line. And does it change the focus in what the Bucs do? Is that what it would change for you? Does it change the focus? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Get on the phone lines if you want to talk about it. Of course, we went through the announcements today. The Bucs are going to look to play in Munich, Germany. Don't know the opponent yet. Don't even know if it's a home game. The rumor was it was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. So who knows? It may be a division game. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Just 17 more days into the new league year starts, and it's going to be interesting. Yes, very interesting. Because the scuttlebutt is that there's going to be, as always, lots of change, lots of movement. And when it concerns your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have lots of decisions you're going to have to make, not only on the offensive line. Is JPP brought back? Is Sue coming back? Is Gronk coming back? What do you do with the cornerback situation? Is Carlton Davis franchised? What do you do about Jordan Whitehead? If they lose one of these players, do you go out and get one? You have to free up cap money. We talked about the Brady situation with the Bucs, and good news today, getting somewhat of a cap break. So again, there's a lot of moves to be made, but as it always is centered on when talking about the National Football League, it's who are you going to get at quarterback? Who's your choice, Bucs fans? Are you buying a Blaine? Do you want Kyle Trask? Do you want Russell Wilson? Do you want Jimmy Garoppolo, Carson Wentz? Kyler Murray came out today, well, his agent, and just paraphrasing, put it basically out there that it's a money situation. It's all about the money. It's all about the extension. So if the Cardinals are willing to do an extension, then more than likely Kyler Murray is going to be the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. So you got to mark that choice out. I told you about the Deshaun Watson situation. That's not going to be resolved until April. Too much legal stuff off the field for me to get into. Too much. So once again, 17 days away from free agency, and we'll see how the Bucs react. To tell you what, let's go out to a quick commercial. When we come back, we'll talk more about this, and we'll also give you Monday mock draft here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Enjoy.
Hey, Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
BetUS.com. If you guys are betting on the games, whether it's NFL, NCAA, of course, you're not going to do that now. Maybe basketball, not football, but of course, the NHL, NBA, go to BetUS.com. You get a 125% sign-up bonus. And also, if you use this code right here, the promo code of TSW22, which, by the way, stands for the sports web, TSW22, or call that number 1-800-69-BET-US. Again, 1-800-69-BET-US, and put in that promo code TSW22, and I would really appreciate that.
I've had 27 beers spilled on me. Make that 28.
I've only got one place to go before the game.
BetUS.com. Sign up at BetUS.com and get the best bonuses in the industry.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about again. BetUS.com, TSW22. Let me put the graphic up there. There you go. Right there, if you're betting, whether it's NCAA, March Madness is coming up, the NHL, the NBA, whatever you want to bet on, TSW22. The number is 1-800-69-BET-US. Again, 1-800-69-BET-US. Again, you get a 125% sign-up bonus here from the Sports Web. I would appreciate that. And once again, go like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Go like the Hub, I Love St. Pete, and Amped Up Sports, because we're going to be busy. I feel like, again, being credentialed media for USF, and the future is bright for this team. Okay. All right. So with that being said, Bucs fans, what do you think about the Bucs bringing back the creamsicle? Do you like it? I kind of get into it with people sometimes about this, because I feel differently. I like the colors. Don't get me wrong, but they always have, like, I don't know, bad memories for me, because it's always associated with losing. And I wasn't around. I mean, I was just born. I was 2 years old when, they were doing big things in 1979. I remember them losing games all the time. And of course, those uniforms won't be out until 2023 because due to the global supply chain challenges. What the hell does that mean? Oh, it's a pandemic. Gotcha. So are you excited about getting those uniforms back? Somebody told me off the air today, man, couldn't they do this a couple years ago? Wouldn't Tom Brady look good in that creamsicle? I agree. I absolutely agree. Of course, the team originally held a series of throwback games from 2009 to 2012. I remember the 2009 game. Do you remember that? I believe, I'm thinking that was Aaron Rodgers' second year in the league as a quarterback, and Josh Freeman and the Bucs beat him. Pretty sure about that. Thinking, check it. 2009 to 2012, they were extremely popular with Buccaneer fans, in addition to outfitting players in uniforms inspired by the orange and white sets the team wore from its inaugural season of 76 through 96. Of course, the Bucs stopped holding the throwback games in 2013 when the NFL instituted a rule that teams could only fit their players with one set of helmets for an entire season. So there you go. So that's coming back. Let's go out to our Monday mock draft, and then I think we'll just wrap it up. Because I don't think anybody's interested in talking about sports tonight, or Facebook is on the fritz. Either one, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Daniel Jeremiah of NFL.com says Jamison Williams, the wide receiver. His comments are, the Bucs will need to add some reinforcements at receiver if they lose Chris Godwin via free agency. And Bucs fans, I feel like I should tell you to give you this PSA, stay offline. Stay off the national media networks, because all they're saying is Chris Godwin is going somewhere else. Don't believe it yet. I'm not ready to sit there and say that. I mean, honestly, I saw this today on ESPN. Green Bay should make a signing for Chris Godwin. Really? They're going to sign Chris Godwin? So let me get this straight, guys. According to ESPN, the Packers are not only going to sign an Aaron Rodgers for $50 million, which is what he wants, be the highest paid player in the league, but also Devontae Adams and a Chris Godwin. Really? Really? Nah. Are there other teams out there looking to get him? Yes. Could they overpay him? Yes. We've seen it happen before. It depends on what Chris Godwin wants to do. But you would think that the Bucs would have some type of advantage, wouldn't you? 2 years removed from a Super Bowl, you have Mike Evans, depending on the quarterback that's throwing you the ball. You know the offense. You're a big part of the offense. In fact, the offense is predicated on your talents. I get it. You're coming off an injury. But why not stay here? No sales tax. Nice area. I mean, I don't have to sell it. It sells itself. And again, it just depends on the quarterback who's going to be here. Who's going to push the needle? What is Jason Line and BA going to do? How can they top Tom Brady? I don't think you can. I think there would be a lot of people shocked that the Bucs made a trade for Russell Wilson. I think they would be. Let's go out to Christopher Cole here. I'm here no matter how slow the sports season is. I agree. I'm here too. I'm just surprised that there's not more phone calls tonight, because all I saw on Facebook was the season's over with. The Bucs are going to be bad again. They're in rebuilding effort. They lost Marpett. They lost Brady. They lost Brown. They're going to lose everything at that point. I'm not buying it. I told you, have faith. Trust the process. Trust that Jason Light, trust that the Glazers and BA have a plan. I believe they do. What do you think? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So Jamison Williams, who had a knee injury that he suffered in the national championship game. So does that make sense? Jamison Williams, I mean, of course, if you lose a Chris Godwin, then yeah, you're going to consider that position at that point. I get it. I get where the national pundits are kind of saying, yeah, this is a guy you may look at because he's been highly productive. He's coming off a knee injury, would be highly drafted, would be better drafted at a better draft position. If he didn't hurt himself, you may get a better value there at 27. I'm not sure if that's the receiver they draft, but speed-wise, this team doesn't have it. Scotty Miller, Jalen Darden, yeah, speed guys, but Jamison Williams, interesting pick. That's what Daniel Jeremiah of NFL.com says. Dre Harris of the Draft Network says Garrett Wilson. Once again, another wide receiver of Ohio State. Tampa Bay lost Antonio Brown in the middle of the season and may lose Chris Godwin, and they now add one of the best slot receivers in the draft. Garrett Wilson is shifty, crafty, is a ball carrier in space. He will be a high run after the catch guy, but likely won't be a deep threat on the outside. So once again, another wide receiver. You see, now not only do you shift focus when you lose Marpett to retirement and free agency, but depending on what you do in free agency is what you're going to do in the draft, right? So if you re-sign those guys that are on your team at the offensive line position, then you don't have to address that in the draft unless there's somebody that falls down that's not supposed to be there, 27. And we've seen that before. We've seen it before. But if you miss out on a Chris Godwin and you fill the offensive line, then you know automatically you're going to draft a wide receiver at 27. And who knows, maybe you trade up for one if you like one that falls down enough. So that's what Dre Harris thinks. Pro Football Focus says Jahan Dotson. With wide receiver Chris Godwin potentially moving on, the Bucs have to reload at receiver. Dotson can play outside, but he has the route running hands and spectacular catch ability to replace Godwin in the slot as well. You know, you could re-sign Chris Godwin and you could legitimately draft another wide receiver. You know why? Because there is no guarantees at this point with what you have in a Tyler Johnson. There is no guarantee what you have in a Scotty Miller. These guys have not developed yet. Jalen Darden has not developed yet. So this, to me, is still a need no matter what you do in free agency. Now, if you go out in free agency and get not only a Chris Godwin, but let's say Cordero Patterson from the Atlanta Falcons, well, now you're talking. Now you don't have to address that position. But in my opinion, wide receiver, whether you sign Chris Godwin or not, is a major need. If you don't sign Chris Godwin, it's more of a major need than you came into it. But and because he's coming off a knee injury and because you're missing an Antonio Brown and the other wide receivers on this team have not developed yet. CBS Sports, Chris Trapasso says DL Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia. See, this makes even more sense to me depending on, and you know what? It doesn't even depend on, but you don't know what Ndamukong Suh is going to do yet. You know, he's 35 years old. He's still playing at a high level, but there's some question not only what he wants, but does he want to come back? You already have Vita Vea signed up for an extension, so you're good there. Most likely Steve McClendon will be moving on. You have Nacho there, but it's still a position I never would say don't do it. Because if you have an opportunity, again, going back to it, you know, how do you build a football team between the lines? Offensive line, defensive line. That's how you do it. So if you have an opportunity to get a wide out of Georgia, I think you definitely jump on it. Just saying. So I like that. And Josh Edwards of CBS Sports says, once again, wide receiver Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. The loss of Antonio Brown could be more opportunity for Tyler Johnson, but it felt as though Tampa Bay didn't have anyone to turn to when Brown departed. I could see Dotson being added as that speedster who can operate at 3 levels and take the top of the defense in that Bruce Arians scheme, right? Remember, they signed John Brown. They still have John Brown on this roster, I believe. So he's a speedster. You still have, again, Jalen Darden. You have Miller. You have Tyler Johnson, but they're unproven besides maybe Brown. I'm not sure if they're going to go with Brown. So once again, wide receiver may be a position of need at this juncture. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Want to go out to the comments from Greg Jennings from the Minnesota Vikings about Aaron Rodgers. Of course, this follows the report from Diana Rossini of ESPN on the Rich Eisen show, saying that Aaron Rodgers could be seeking around $50 million per season. Are you serious? That's big time money. $50 million. You think there's a team out there willing to pay it? I mean, the rumors have been that the relationship between the Green Bay Packers and Rodgers has improved, but how much has it improved? There seems like there's no deadline. Although I think you're going to have some type of deadline eventually, right? 17 days until free agency. I mean, I think that's where you have to figure this out eventually. You do. I don't think Davante Adams is going to come back to a team that doesn't have Aaron Rodgers. Just saying. No matter how much you pay him. You may have to franchise him, but I don't see that happening. I don't. Could they be going all in if you get an Aaron Rodgers? Of course. Sure. They could absolutely do that. Now, my thing is Rodgers worth $50 million a year? I mean, this is what I go into and I went into on this show over and over again. This is the great thing about having a Tom Brady for all those years with the Patriots. Be very blessed. How many restructures did he do? How much money did he take less? He helped the Bucs out so they could bring back their players. I mean, but this is the reason why you're looking at my point on this. As I've said from the very beginning, I get it. You want to get value as a top-notch quarterback and the value is out there, but does it necessarily help your team win? This is what kind of upset me when Russell Wilson was making these comments. Well, I want the organization to make sure I win. I want them to put the best winning product out there. Okay, take less money. Easier for me to say that, right? Because I'm not in that situation. Correct? But, the blueprint is out there. Tom Brady has proven it. For all those years with the Patriots, he's proven it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You take less money, and guess what? You get a chance to spread those resources over time. You do. So, Greg Jennings, former Minnesota Vikings wide receiver and also Green Bay receiver. I don't know why they said he was also a Green Bay receiver, I thought, at one time. He said, Aaron Rodgers has been a very selfish guy. When talking about the contract, I get it. He's at the end of his career, so it's like, okay, I'm going to take whatever I could take, but you can't do that and want to win. Bingo! Let the truth set you free. Exactly. This is an NFL player. This is not some armchair quarterback, some sports broadcaster that you watch on Monday and Wednesday nights on I Love St. Pete and the Hub saying this. This is a former friggin' NFL player saying it. Let me repeat it again. Aaron Rodgers has been a very selfish guy. I get it. He's at the end of his career, and it's like, okay, I'm going to take whatever I can take, but you can't do that and want to win. How are you going to try to win? You better have some great accounting guys in that organization. You better have it. Because we know what an albatross of a big-time contract when you sign a player like a Dak Prescott and a Russell Wilson. It hinders you from doing what you want to do, basically. You're losing players. You're going to lose players eventually. Kansas City hasn't yet, but they will with that big-time contract. That's why you see sometimes teams restructure deals. This is why. Don't be surprised to see it again. This is my point, though. I don't understand why you're signing the big contract in the first place. Besides the obvious, you're worth it. I get it. You're worth it. But really, what does it do to the team's success overall? It's not good. And we've seen it over the past. When a quarterback signs a big-time contract, that's why it's so important when you draft a quarterback, you have those 3 to 4 years where they're under their rookie deal, right? Until their opportunity comes when they sign that first contract or second contract, if you will. Goes on to say, guys got to look out for themselves. But in looking out for yourself, you cut out the legs of others. So when quarterbacks come out and say, you know what? We can't win as an organization because the organization hasn't put enough pieces around me. Look in the mirror. The reason why is because you want a $50 million a year contract. Does that help the situation? I mean, it's simple finance. I'm sitting here telling you about finance. I'm not the best with it, but I know if you spend this much here, you're going to spend that much, that less with somebody else. Just saying. Go on and read more of these comments here. Looking out for yourself, you cut out the legs of others. And understanding at this position, at the quarterback position, you cut out more than just a pair of legs. You cut out a few pairs of legs. For me, this is contradicting to what he is saying he wants to do. He is on to something, because what have we heard from Aaron Rodgers? What have been the rumors of the reason why Rodgers wants out of that Green Bay organization? The organization hasn't done enough to put pieces around me. Okay. So, and I always relate this to relationships in sports. Come halfway, my friend. Let's compromise. You take a little bit less, and then I'm able to provide those other resources to other areas. Possibly an offensive lineman, possibly another wide receiver, if you will. You know, the crazy idea that you can afford a Devontae Adams and the Aaron Rodgers and the Chris Godwin, yeah, that's a pipe dream with $50 million a year. Come on. Again, I'm not a math expert, but I know that's a pipe dream. And he's exactly right. It absolutely contradicts what Rodgers has said. That's what I don't understand. Rodgers is a great quarterback with one championship. But the reason why more than likely he has one championship is because he has not followed the blueprint that is out there in the National Football League. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I mean, I laugh about it. Oh, they signed Dak Prescott. Well, he was worth it. Okay. Just because you're worth it doesn't mean you need to get it. I mean, look at what you're going to do to the rest of your team. Well, let them worry about it. Okay. Well, then don't complain about it. Don't make the complaints that the organization is not doing enough for you. Don't make the complaint that you're not winning enough games because you don't have A, B, C, D player. Well, the reason why is because all the resources are devoted to you. This is consistent with the Aaron Rodgers situation. It's consistent. He comes off as a self-centered jerk. That's what he comes off as. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to this news and note, and then we will probably get out of here for the night. Thanks a lot once again for tuning in to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Once again on I Love St. Pete and the Hub, and of course, Amped Up Sports. Once again, it's going to be a busy week. Tomorrow night, we'll be back. We'll see if we can get Dennis Phillips of ABC Action News. Tuesday night, usually it's a Wednesday. We'll see if we can get him. If not, we'll get some other guests on, and we'll talk to you. And hopefully we don't get this tonight, because that's all I'm hearing. Crickets. I don't know what the hell is going on with you guys tonight. It's okay. It's all right. All right. There are some changes going on with the NFL Combine. Of course, that going on this week. Players will work out to music at Lucas Oil Stadium. Of course, prospects will also perform before fans. I mean, why did the NFL miss this boat? How did it take this long for the National Football League to take advantage of a money opportunity like this? I mean, every eye is on the Combine, and you could say it's underwear Olympics, but people are interested in it. You know why? Because in some semblance, if you will, it's football. People want to see their favorite team get their number one prospect. Or who is this guy? So how is it taking so long for the NFL to take advantage of this opportunity? I have no idea. But again, prospects will also perform before fans, who will see results posted on video boards at the stadium. The league will make 10,000 tickets available for the lower bowl for the first time, and they will encourage fans to cheer. That's a hell of an idea, NFL. Good job. especially what happened a couple years ago during the pandemic. Let's see here. Katie Conklin told the Associated Press, who is the NFL event contact and presentation coordinator, we want to make it a bit more of fan-friendly environment. The most important thing is keeping the integrity of the combine for the players and scouts, and we want to make it more exciting for the fans. What do you think the coaches or the guys, the old school guys that think about this? Music. And the article mentions Mike Tomlin, of course, because he didn't like the fact that his wide receiver and Chase Claypool wanted to have tunes at the Steelers practice. So how do you think this affects it? I feel like I need to attend a combine now. That's one thing I got to do in my life is attend a combine. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The league averaged 7,800 fans over 4 days in 19 and 20 before the pandemic kept the scouting combine from happening last year. Indianapolis has hosted the event since 1987 and will again this week, but perhaps for the final time, Dallas, Fort Worth, Indianapolis, and Los Angeles are bidding to host the 2023-2024 events. Final bids are due in early April, and we will see what happens. In fact, Jeff Foster, president of the National Football Scouting, who runs the combine, anticipates an announcement in late May. How about that, Bucs fans? Would you like to have a combine at Raymond James Stadium? Would you like to see that? Although I don't know if that would work because of the weather situation, right? We don't have an indoor facility. I think the owners and clubs would love to bring a tent pole event to their town from a fan standpoint, from an economic standpoint. When they moved the draft to different cities and it took off, I think that's what sparked the interest, and that's why we started looking at it. Bingo, money. Follow the money. It's all about the money. Show me the money. And that's exactly what the NFL is taking advantage of, and as they should. And I think there'll be fans out there that will be interested in that concept. With that being said, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks to the great Leo Haggerty, legend himself, former Coach Scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions, Amped Up Sports, and Jen Moody, owner of the Tampa Bay Inferno. Guys, let's wrap it up here. 3 things. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Have a great night.
Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.